Hello, everyone. I am Joan Turner with the Greater Haverhill Arts Association, and welcome to another episode of Meet the Artists. And as you can see, we have the very young-looking Megan Holcomb with us today. And we were having a little chit-chat ahead of time, and I'm like, oh, she looks like a teenager, blah, blah, blah. And now I find out she's married and has three kids. So it's quite a shock, Megan. Greater Haverhill Arts Association. You can know more about us through if you do www.ghaa.art. We have an awesome website. We have a cool webmaster who keeps it very current and so on and so forth. We do a lot of work. We're very active art association, and we have lots of fun too. So without further ado, we're going to talk to Megan. Megan, how are you today, honey?
I am good.
This is awesome, awesome. And I did look up some of your stuff, like on Instagram and whatnot. So before we actually conclude, you tell us how we can get a hold of you. But first of all, we always got to ask the question: how did you get interested in art?
I have always loved art. I've always loved color, and my parents used to take me to the museum. Like we would go to the Fine Arts Museum in Boston a couple times a year. My aunt and uncle lived down here. I'm from Maine originally, so we would come down and visit. We go to the art museum, the science museum, but I always loved making things. I've done tons of arts and crafts. I love to knit. It's my uh, thing to do with my hands. I started in college. I was terrible at taking notes, but I had to find a way to sit still during class, so I would knit. And my
I love
professors,
it.
they would get used to me knitting in class. They'd be like, the first couple times, they'd be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "It's fine. I'm paying attention."
And knitting.
Right. I
So,
just to keep my hands busy. Or I would doodle. But I've always loved color, and I have done so many different things. I dyed yarn for a while. But I never really felt like I could make like art, or like it seemed like a jump too far for me.
yeah,
um,
anymore. When did that change?
So when the pandemic started, my whole family, I was used to being home by myself all day, and now my family was here all the time. And as much as I absolutely love them, they were
Yeah,
everywhere.
that's right. Every time you turn around, it's like, okay,
Every
someone's
time I
doing
turned
something.
around, there was a child, or my husband needed something, or and they were just
Hmm.
there.
Yeah.
So I decided I needed something that was for me. So I decided to take up watercolor painting classes online.
Wow.
And I started painting watercolors, and I really enjoyed it. And my husband surprised me with an iPad, maybe 5 or 6 months later.
Nice.
And I started playing with Procreate, which is the one of the art apps that you can do on iPad. And I absolutely fell in love with it. I love everything about doing digital art. I love the method of it, and I love playing with the colors. I love that I can change things. And so I started making art on my iPad, and I never turned back. I started taking classes and
That's awesome.
and it makes me happy.
I think that's awesome. The pandemic caused a lot of misery, certainly, but there's always a
Definitely.
flip side to that. And I hear stories all the time about how during the pandemic, people were searching, doing this, doing that. It's very similar to your story. So it actually brought about some good stuff too. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so I think, it's good to kind of recognize that as well.
Mhm.
So, absolutely. And we're glad that you did. Watercolors are one of the supposedly hardest mediums to work with. So the fact that you're comfortable with watercolors is
I like
actually,
watercolors. They're
yeah,
I don't always feel like I'm in control of them, which is both terrifying and fun sometimes.
yeah. Well, that's why they say they're hard to work
Right.
with because they're hard to control. So
Right.
absolutely, yeah. All right. So I wanted to say, did you have a mentor, someone who But if you were, how did you learn? Were you just doing YouTubes? You were
So I
doing
did a couple things. I've taken a lot of
online classes?
online classes. So I started taking watercolors. I used Anna Mason. She has a website where she does both. You can take a few live classes, but she records them, which is
Okay.
great because I would have to rewind and watch to make sure I was
Oh,
doing everything the way I was supposed
totally. Hmm. Hmm.
to. But then I also took some really amazing drawing classes from a woman named Maya Sereda. She does online classes. She's from Seattle.
Nice.
And taking live classes with her was maybe the first time I felt like I could actually do art.
Really, really. Okay.
She was so encouraging, and I would do stuff and I'd be like, this looks terrible. And she would look at it and she'd go, no, I can see where you're going with this. And I was like, wait, that's a thing?
That's a thing. Yeah, it
She's
makes a
like, I can
difference.
see what kind of artist you're going to be. And that like meant so much to me, like that someone could see that
If
that
they get
eventually
it.
I could do this. And I took a lot of classes for Procreate and digital art
Mhm.
um, online. I love Lisa Bardot. She sells brushes for Procreate, but she also does super fun tutorials and classes. And I signed up with a woman named Liz Kohler Brown. She has her own website where she has tons of classes on all sorts of stuff, pattern designing and
So you are a real go-getter then, because all those things take time and commitment. Um,
I don't always have the time
yeah,
see my three children.
I was just that was going to be my next question. You seem very committed. You find the time. How do you do that with three kids and a husband?
Well, some days it is much less than others, but I my daughter, my oldest, they're in college, so things are a little quieter now because
Yeah.
they're my chatterbox. And when they were home, I actually instituted a policy that if the light outside my room was on, they weren't allowed to. It's
For
like I'm
you.
busy
Good
going.
for you. Yeah. And
And
that's awesome, I think. It's a good way to manage your time.
yeah, it was hard. It was hard because like the kids are used to me just being the person they go to when they
Yeah.
need something because
Yeah.
my husband's working, and I he still works at home as a matter of fact, and it's been a change for us to be together all the time. But we enjoy it. It's nice. I would miss him now if he went back to the office
Right.
all the
Right.
time.
Uh-huh. Now,
um,
I think that's awesome because, like I said, I think there were some good things that came out of the pandemic as well, and learning
Definitely.
to just kind of appreciate each other and live together again.
Well,
Yeah.
and it was nice because, like, my daughter, like I said, they went off to college this year, and we got to spend a lot more time together as a family than we would have if things had been normal. I mean, the
Right.
kids are busy and we're busy, and my
Yep.
husband's at work all the time, but we were home together. We spent time doing things together because we were stuck here.
I think that's awesome. I think that's a great story. So, did the kids do any artwork? Because I see yours. Did
So
they say, I want to do that?
my youngest is 12, and I'm currently homeschooling him.
Nice.
Not part of my plan, but it worked out that this worked for him. So I actually homeschooled my two younger children during the pandemic, that first school year
Sure.
after
Sure.
things happened. And my older son, my middle son went to the high school last year, but my youngest, he wasn't vaccinated. We weren't ready to send him back to school. So I kept him home to homeschool, and we're still doing it.
Yeah, I think that's awesome.
But we do art together. We go to art museums. He actually entered the student show last year for GHAA and got an
Oh,
honorable mention.
cool. He what? He did what?
he
He,
he, uh, he got an honorable mention in the
I
show.
think
So
that is awesome. I think it's
Um,
great for kids to be recognized. It really is good
yeah,
for their
we like to try a
confidence.
few things together. I got
Yeah,
last year. I got him some pastels to try, and we've done like sculpting with clay, and
really.
I like to introduce him to all sorts of things. But he has his own iPad, and he loves to draw and Procreate too. So
Okay.
we do tutorials together, and he is
And
working on
he's
a drawing.
he's 12. He's 12.
He's 12. Yep.
Wow.
He'll be
Good, good.
13 in January.
Oh, nice. Happy birthday. Yeah, happy birthday, son. That I think that that's awesome. Um, so where would you say most your ideas, your inspirations, where those come from? We know where your sons come from, you. So that's all, I think that's cool.
Well, some of it is I like to learn new techniques. So I'll go looking for something like I'm like, oh, I want to try this. Or I see like a video of someone doing something. I'm like, I need to do that. So I'll go looking for things and try them out. And then they kind of get embedded into how I make things. And I love florals. I love flowers. I do lots and lots of flowers.
Nice. Yeah.
Um,
Love
I
nature.
also
It's a very forgiving subject matter.
Right.
Nothing has
And
to
I
be
like,
perfect.
there's so many different ways you can do florals. So it's fun to try different stuff. And
Totally.
I love to do lettering pieces. So like
Right,
I love quotes.
when I was looking on Instagram, I saw lettered pieces. Now, are those your
my
own
my Chris
designs?
my Halloween themed lettering. I did
Yeah.
a challenge in October. It was so much work. It was a lettering challenge. You had to produce a lettering piece every day
Okay.
for the month of October.
I
It
love
was
it.
so much work, but I feel like I have learned so much about doing lettering now. Like like just having to do it every day just
So,
forced you to do it.
so that lettering, did you create those letters? Did you
Yeah,
create them?
yeah. I use inspiration. I love signs and books,
All
and
right.
I take pictures of things.
I'm going to try and find that. I'm going to try and find that page and see if we can kind of show people because that was like an amazing thing. I was looking at it. Okay, let me see. Let's do a screen share. Where are you? Let's go back there and screen share. Um, this one, I think. Oh, can you see that?
It's black. It says started screen share. There we go.
Okay.
Now
All
I
right.
see it.
Now you see it. So this is what I was looking at before you came on. These are yours. You made up the letters and
Yep.
tell me about these.
So the ho 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 one is the first piece of a new drawing challenge I'm doing. Um, it's the Frosty and Festive challenge. So each for 3 days there's one prompt. So like the first prompt was the first, second, and third. You could post any time,
Okay.
and the prompt was Frosty and Festive.
Okay. That
So I actually just did a class about drawing stained glass, and I was like, "Ooh, this could be fun." So I made a stained glass piece.
and it's
I
very
did use those
frosty. It
letters,
looks frosty.
and the letters I was inspired by I have tons of lettering stuff on my Pinterest page.
Okay.
Anytime I see lettering I like, I'm like, let's put it in here. So next time I need to letter something, I can look and see. And usually it's like bits and pieces. You like this style or like this thing, but you don't like this, so you do it differently. It's,
So you take the lettering that you like and you adjust it and kind of make it your own?
yeah.
Oh,
I usually
okay.
use a couple sources of inspiration to like,
Nice.
bits and pieces I like and kind of put them together.
Oh, here they are, Frosty
Yeah,
Fest.
so these are all
Cocoa and
the
cookies. I like
things.
that one.
I'm working on that one right now.
You are. I can't wait.
Yep.
Cannot wait to see that one.
But
Okay.
yeah, it's I like doing challenges. It makes me expand what I'm
So
doing and think about
where
different things.
so where did you say the challenges were again?
So this one's for Instagram, and that's where
Oh,
I
it is.
find most of the ones
Okay.
I do. And it's who, you see them from different people you follow.
Hmm.
I actually follow most of the people who are hosting this one, so that was easy.
Yeah, cool. Okay, give thanks. We're just gonna flip through them.
That's my
This,
fancy printer.
you know something, when I saw that, I'm like, oh my God, she has a piano.
It is kind of a quick one. It's gigantic,
Oh, look at piano.
but I
So,
love it. I love printing off my art, so
ah,
it amuses me.
totally. So I'm just gonna flip. So you just tell me when you want to stop here. Oh, it's going on its own.
This is a video I made of a trip to the
Oh,
art museum with my son, actually.
oh, okay. Went to Museum of Art. Oh, okay. Few
We
of
went to
our
the Colby,
favorites.
we were up in Maine visiting my brother, and we went to the Colby College Museum of
Mhm.
Art. I didn't even know they had one until my brother told me.
I was got. I was just gonna say I did not know they had one.
But I took a few pictures of the things we really liked, and off we went.
I think that's all awesome, awesome. You will do very well on your own, but with others you could be more magnificent. Okay, I like that too. So what was the prompt for this one?
There was no prompt for this one.
Oh, it
I
just
actually
stood out.
watched,
Okay.
my son and I watched the movie Enola Holmes 2. I don't know if you've watched
I
those
have
on
I've
Netflix.
seen some of it, yeah.
They're such cute movies. They're super fun. But her mom says this to her that, she needs to stop trying to do everything by herself, and that, she'll be fine, but
Yeah,
she could be more
it could be
by,
more.
and I think about that. Like, I'm very stubborn and I
I
don't like
was
to ask for
yeah,
help. So it's a reminder for me that the people around me want to help.
want to help. I was just, when I was reading that, I thought, oh my God, must be synchronicity because I do exactly the same thing. Sometimes I forget to say, gee, I need some help here.
Right.
Another stained glass window.
This was actually from the class I took.
Ha, that's beautiful.
Well, thank you. It was fun. It's a very meditative process.
Yeah, I bet. I actually do meditate. Do you meditate?
Mostly in doing things like my art and knitting. Knitting is kind of my meditation. I
Ah,
can
yeah,
just sit and do it and
totally.
keep
I
my
I
TV
actually
account.
Yeah, I actually have done some crocheting. My sister knits all the time, and she says the same thing. It's very
I
meditative. Oh,
can't crochet, and my best friend can't knit. So, like, together we make one fiber art.
that's perfect. You make a perfect pair, right? Colorful, fun, indie art, arco canvas, acro canvas. How do you say it?
I don't know. That's someone commented on it.
Oh, 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 oh! I see it. Shiva letters. This looks amazing. It does. It looks very cool.
Thank you. It was a something that a lot of people do on Instagram is called a draw this in your style. So
Okay.
they'll put up a picture and then they're like, you draw it in the way you draw.
Oh,
And so you get lots of different
it
takes
actually
on a piece
it
of art.
actually looks like felt pieces on a canvas,
Yeah,
but
this
it's
has a paper overlay on it.
okay.
I like to add that because it gives it some texture and makes it
Yeah, the
feel
texture is very interesting. Very
less
cool.
digital
Ah,
at
gee, I wonder who
Halloween.
that is. I love it.
We were
Mm,
handing out candy for Halloween.
I love it. Oh, yeah, I'm a 42-year-old mom to three. That totally slays me. I just can't believe you're that old. Eat, drink,
I
and
am.
be scary.
This was the last piece of my October drawing challenge for
Yeah,
lettering.
yeah.
Um, I was so ready to be done at this point.
I bet. I bet. Enter if you dare. Okay, so these are all the Halloween challenge. Don't hex my vibe.
So these, we could pick any wording we
I
wanted,
love
but it
this one.
was style. So
Okay,
each day you had to follow a different style. So like this one is for brush lettering.
okay.
Um, and you would do it in a style, in that style, but we could pick anything. So like people did all sorts of different things, like
Fun
one
stuff.
woman did book titles, one woman did flowers.
Okay.
It was all different stuff, which was fun. It was fun to see what everyone else did, but it was
Yeah,
October and I love Halloween, so I went with Halloween stuff.
I think that's awesome. I really like that. The colors really appeal to me. Too cute to spook.
This is probably the piece that took me the longest.
This one here,
Yes, it
because
was
of the
minimal
shading.
lettering. Yeah, the
Yeah,
shading took
shading.
forever.
Yeah. I bet. Yeah. It looks, if you're not an artist and you look at it, you don't know all the detail and everything that is entailed in creating something like this.
And everything is in the details.
Yeah, everything is in the details, and I'm looking at there's what looks like a feather over there, but it's just an amazing piece of lettering. Too cute to spook. Perfectly wicked. Now, the perfectly wicked, but that actually looks like kind of fun to me. So,
Yeah, it was I liked this one. It was fun to do because like all
yeah,
those little teardrops.
very cool. Fantastic. This is another one that looks like felt. So it has a paper overlay.
Yep. So I collect paper overlays on my
I
iPad.
would too. I think those are awesome. That's
And
awesome.
I love brushes. I love new brushes. I love to like try new things.
You know something, you're about the 10th person who has told me about Procreate, and I keep writing it down and saying, gee, I'm going to have to look at that because
it's
everyone seems to enjoy it so
it's so
much.
fun. Like and I love it because I don't have tons of time to create sometimes. And like
Pick your
sometimes
poison.
the having to get all the supplies out is the thing that keeps me from doing. And with
Yeah,
Procreate, I can just sit down with my iPad and work
yeah,
on it. Like,
yeah.
a lot of times my husband and I'll watch TV in the evening and I'll draw while we watch
Oh,
TV.
wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm the
So,
one that takes all the, I have an art studio, a little art studio.
uh-huh.
So it's easier because all the stuff is already out there. But
That's
like I
true.
said, have been hearing so much about this.
Yeah.
And pick your poison. It took me a few seconds to figure out what that said. It's very ornate. The lettering is very ornate.
Yes, it was supposed to be.
Yeah, it is.
But I like this one so much.
Yeah, yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Put a spell on you. Oh, I love that. That's cool.
This was fun. I liked that one.
Ooh, it's just what you just Girls
They're
just
all
wanna
like
have
silly
fun.
puns.
I get it. I like that.
I had fun picking out puns. I was taking a class and we were supposed to post a photo of what we were doing. So
Oh, okay. I see. LOL, laughing out loud. Love it. First bite.
I loved this one. I loved this. This was for Art Deco and it was so much fun to make.
Very cool. Very cool. Their path is not a straight line. That one I think is very synchronistic as well.
Mm-hmm.
We always plan out our path, and it
Right.
just never really turns out the way you planned it. But that doesn't mean it's
Definitely
not
not.
good. Mischief is mayhem. That one looks like mischief mayhem. I love it. Which, please? Love it. Ah, I like that. I like that.
This was
Very
fun. I
cute.
liked this one. I had a really hard time. Like sometimes I couldn't come up with stuff.
I think that's great. Are, are these mushrooms?
Yes, they are. I also love to draw mushrooms.
I, you know something? I do not like to eat mushrooms, but I
I don't
draw
eat
them all the time.
mushrooms, don't
See,
taste good.
another weird person. I love it. We're
But I love to
sisters.
draw them. They're so cute. And,
Yeah,
and
that
there's so many different shapes and colors and styles. And
I like that. So this must be a road trip, weekend away with friends.
yeah, we went to upstate New York.
Nice, wicked, awesome. I like that. I say awesome all the time. A haunt mess.
That's me.
Patty about you. Yeah, that's a lot of people. Patty about you. Your scream.
Dream. It was geometric lettering. It was what
Oh,
I had a hard time with, but
yep. Took me a second, but I could
yep.
read it. That's awesome. I was looking at this one earlier. Is this your
So one
cat?
of my no, it's a friend's cat actually. I also do pet portraits. Uh,
Oh, okay. I did read
is
that.
a digital watercolor pet portrait. I one of my best friend asked for it. Her friend had their cat had passed away, and so she had asked me to do this, and I just sent it off to her. So
Oh, nice, nice. Okay, so you do pet portraits. I did read that. I did
yep,
read that. So what do people do? They can send you a
a
picture?
photo, yep, a picture that I work off of, and I'm a little slow, but
No, that's
they're
probably a
super
good
detailed,
thing.
so
Yeah, yeah.
it takes me a little while. But yeah, I've done 3 or 4 at this. I've done a few this year. I made one for my brother.
Oh,
And but yeah, I like doing the pet portraits. It's fun, and I like details, so
yeah, I guess you do. I'm looking at the eyes and even the fur and the ears and stuff. Very
the
cool.
fur was
So
so hard.
yeah, I bet. And I like the background. It's very unique and it's very complementary to the picture. You know, your
Yeah, I
color
like to do
combinations are
kind of
good.
a messy watercolor
Yeah,
feel.
yeah,
So
yeah. Very cool. So if someone wanted you to do one of these, do you take commissions? Is that what
I
this
do
is?
take commissions. Yep.
Okay.
They can contact me through Instagram, or my emails on Instagram too.
So what's your email? Tell people now. I think
It's it's Eroleary makes, EROLERI makes, MAKES
AES. Okay, so
at
say it
gmail.com.
again. Say it again in case people are trying to write it down.
Eroleary makes, EROLERIMAKES at
Okay,
gmail.com.
at gmail.com.
Yep.
Okay, so if anyone is interested in having a pet portrait, this is
Yep.
your girl because that looks awesome. This is
Well,
very
thank you.
cool. You're very welcome. So let me ask you a question. I am told that pet portraits and people portraits are amongst the hardest things to do. And obviously, you love doing it because you do it very well. What about people? Do you do people as well?
I have not done people portraits. I only do pets.
Only pets. All right.
Only pets. I don't do
So,
people. People
so
are too hard for
people
me.
are down the road.
Yeah, it's a thing I'll get to maybe later.
This is amazing. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And so hopefully people will, oh my gourd. Okay. I love the writing. I love the style of writing. I
I enjoy
actually,
the lettering. It's fun, and
yeah,
I collect quotes, and
quotes.
so it's fun. I like to do the lettering and
Do you
decorate
ever
it.
make up your own quotes? You
Not
could, with
really.
your life, you could make some up.
Probably could. I usually
Yeah.
don't though.
I love the lettering here, and the shading really makes it. It's a very ornate, very beautiful. It's definitely my type of thing. When I was in college, I took lettering, I took calligraphy because I thought it would be a fun thing to do besides all the monotonous things I was doing. Turned
Hmm.
out to be one of the hardest things ever. What
Calligraphy
looks
is so
like a
complicated.
nice, smooth, yeah, was like a combination of 3 to 5 strokes, and you had to make
Hmm.
sure it looked. I was like, oh my God, this is so hard. I thought it was going to be a fun, easy thing. But it was
Right?
definitely a labor of love, and the style that I liked the best was closest to this. So,
Yeah, I love those
very,
like ornate
yeah, yeah,
pearls
yeah,
and
all those little
flourishes. That's the
swirls,
word I was looking for.
flourishes. That's right. If you get it, haunt it. If you've got it, haunt it instead of flying. I get it. I get it. This is Boo Street. Love it. Which, cute. Witchful thinking. Let's get sheep face.
I was big into silly puns in October.
Well, I know someone this will fit just perfectly. I'll have to save that one.
My
Ah,
husband got a kick out of all of my silly.
I bet.
Every day he's like, okay, what's today's pun?
Oh my God, that is too much. All right, I'm gonna file it away. Hello, gorgeous. I like that. Yeah, very punny. Stop in for a
Yep,
spell. No comments yet. Oh, so this is you working on the pad.
that's me working on my iPad.
So the stylus that you're using,
An
is it
Apple
just,
Pencil.
oh, it's a pencil, Apple pencil.
It's called the Apple Pencil. It's their stylus for the iPad,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
and
I
it's.
don't have one of those. I just got an iPad. I'm gonna have to get a
I mean,
stylus.
you can use your finger. You can use a stylus. The thing I like about the Apple Pencil is that it is pressure sensitive. So a lot
Okay.
of brushes are. You can make thicker, more you
Yeah.
press, thinner, lighter press, which
Yeah.
you can't do with some other styluses. So
Hmm.
I I like
Well,
it.
I think I think that's cool that you do that. In my mind is always going. I'm wondering if there's a way to kind of demo that because for most of us in the art association, we're we're very traditional in our art, and
Mhm.
by that I mean, we use paints, we use acrylics, we use oils, blah blah. Not too many of us, at least at this age, are using tablet. I find that most of the younger members are a little bit more in tune with it. So I'm
Mhm.
wondering if there's a way for you to actually demo that. We'd need a big screen. I have to give that
Yeah,
I have to give that one some more thought, but like I
you need
said,
a
my
big
mind goes
screen.
up. So well, I'm thinking, you could work on the pad, but there should be like a camera that can show a big
Mhm.
screen so
Yep.
people can see what you're doing. So would
Yep.
you be willing to do something like that? Or is
Yeah,
this
I mean, I can definitely teach the basics.
okay? All right, all right. We'll talk off camera. I will send it to our scheduling person. That would be cool. All right, very awesome. Okay. Uh, Squad ghouls,
Like squad goals, but ghouls.
squad ghouls, and the thing up here.
It's a hashtag.
Oh, okay, got it, got it. All right, I was a little slow on that one. I like that one too. Keep it real. I like that. So you have quite a sense of humor. Yeah, see,
I love puns.
what I'm finding is that I'm enjoying watching you do that.
I love
So,
to watch people draw. Like
ah,
I get lost in watching videos of other people draw things.
I bet, I bet. Hello, beautiful. You need some boots in there. Twice, trick or treat yourself. Oh, I like that one too. I like the sayings, hocus pocus.
I think that's all of my October lettering.
I think, yeah. And so
And
this is
mushrooms.
a mushroom.
Mushrooms. I'm back to mushrooms.
Oh my gosh, you are back to mushrooms.
I do love mushrooms.
Those are great. Those are great. Okay, let me see. We can stop share because I know you also have some stuff that you want to show us.
Yeah,
Yes?
I had a couple things. Let me
Let's
see if
see
I
them.
can
Let's see
find
them, my
it.
darling.
So, oh well, I had my kitty picture.
I I think that is amazing.
And pick your poison,
Mhm.
which we already saw. This is I actually just designed a Christmas card.
Oh,
This is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, and I did florals for it.
beauteous, beauteous. I like it.
So these Christmas cards are on sale in
Okay.
Topsfield
All right. They're on sale where? Where can people find
at
them?
the Perfectly Imperfect gift shop in Topsfield.
Oh, okay,
It's
cool.
it's great. It's a great shop. They have 70 artists who do a range of things from uh candles and bath and body stuff to
The artwork.
woodworking and
So
artwork, and there's all sorts of cool stuff.
also it's cool. So if people want to buy cards from you, can they get them from you directly?
Yep, you can
Okay.
send me a message on Instagram. You can send me an email.
Email. Okay.
But yeah, this is my Christmas card for the year.
I love it. I love it.
And there's my stained glass.
Like it, like it.
Let's see. And here's one of my other pet portraits.
Oh my goodness.
This is actually my very own dog.
Oh, look at that
My
cute
I
face.
made it for my daughter to take to college
Very
because
nice.
she was sad to leave her puppy.
Yeah.
And
Oh
this is
my
my
gosh.
sponsor.
That's gorgeous. Love it.
And here's some other watercolors. There's
He's
watermelon.
a watermelon.
That's a
I love
watermelon.
watermelon. I love watermelon.
And I went through a phase of doing paper cut on my iPad. So these are actually supposed to look like paper.
They do. They look like stickers.
And here's my apple I drew.
That's amazing.
I think that's about it.
That's amazing. Those are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Oh, well,
So,
thank you.
so like what's the worst, what's the hardest thing that you do and what's the funnest thing?
Oh, the middle. The middle is the hardest.
What's the hardest? Because what, you want to get it done? I want it done. I want it done.
No, it's because I start something and I'm like, this is gonna work. And then I get to the middle of it and I go, no, this is not working. And I want to give up. I don't want to do it.
Oh, okay.
Bad. And like every art piece goes through that, like, this is really ugly phase.
I teach art, and sometimes students will get to that point, and I'll say to them, look, at the very worst that can happen is that you hate it and you don't use it. Just throw it out,
Right?
get rid of it, paint over it, whatever. So
It's
um,
that ugly middle that always gets
yeah,
me.
yeah,
Like,
okay, the
I want
ugly
to give up on it.
middle.
Like
Yeah,
I'm like, no, this is never gonna come out right. It's all
yeah,
and like inevitable. I mean, probably 60% of the time it totally comes out fine.
I bet,
And other
yeah.
times not so much. But that like middle, I always go through like this phase of hating everything and wanting to give up. And my
Want to give
husband's like,
up.
just keep doing it.
But don't you find, I find that through the errors or the things that I don't like, I kind of learn for like the next
Yep.
piece. All right, the shading wasn't quite right. I didn't have
The
the lighting
mistakes
quite.
always help me.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that they do help. The errors have their place. Okay.
They do.
Yeah. So which of your art is your favorite? Do you have a favorite, or is it hard
Oh,
to pin it down to just
hard to
one?
put it down.
Yeah.
I love something about all the things that I do.
That actually is a good answer. Another thing I like to ask working artists, what makes a piece successful to you? Like if you look at a
Oh,
piece of art,
God.
whether it's your own or someone else's, what makes a successful piece of art? I'm always wanting to know because I have
I
my
think
own thoughts, of
it
course, but
like for me it depends because I do a number of different things. Like I for my pet portraits, like if the person I'm giving it to is like, oh my God, that's my pet, like then I'm like, okay, I did it right.
right, yeah.
Like they look at it and they're like, that's my pet. And I'm like, oh, okay, good.
So
That's what
it
I
makes them feel something. Well, they're
yeah,
pets, certainly.
right.
So yeah,
But like other things, it's different because I do a lot of surface design. So for
yeah,
like cards or fabric print or stuff like that. And for me, like if I'm that's less about like who the other people like if I'm happy with it, then it's good, like
okay.
but like
That's
making patterns is hard.
Yeah, I think that's actually a very good answer because people sometimes, and I don't think that there's a wrong answer actually. But
Mhm.
people will say as long as, I people feel something when they look at my art, if they recognize what it's supposed
Mhm.
to be, so on and so forth. And my answer is always very simplistic. If I like it, it's a success.
Yeah.
If
No, I
I
mean, if I'm
don't, that's
happy with
it,
it, then great.
So
Like that's what I want is for me
that's
to be
it.
happy with
That's
it.
yeah, yeah.
I
So
think I think
it's
I have to do it for me first.
I agree. I agree. I haven't done commissions for a long time, but when I did do them, it was difficult to give someone a piece of artwork that I wasn't crazy about, right? And
Right.
they would say, "Oh no, this is exactly what I wanted." So that
Mhm.
was the unfun thing about
Right. Yeah,
about
commissions can be
commissions.
tough because
Yeah,
you know, you have your own way of doing things, and if they want
yeah,
something different from that, it's
yeah.
hard to feel like you did it right.
You did it right. Don't worry about it, But
Yeah.
it's like, but that was like I said, people give it a lot of thought. They give a really nice answers, and I'm always like, well, if I like it, it's a success. If I don't, it's not.
I
But
gotta do it for me like first.
yeah, I think so. I think so. And when people want to buy your work, that's always kind of validation that
Yeah.
other
Well, I think
people are
that
willing
like
to spend their hard-earned money, and
especially for my like surface design stuff cards and like when other people buy them, I'm like, oh, you liked that?
you
Like
like
it always
that? That's
surprises
so
me.
cool.
My husband thinks it's funny. I'm like, no one is more surprised when it comes out good than me.
I have been painting, drawing, teaching for like 40, maybe 50 years. But one of the things that one of my students asked years ago is, will you teach us how to rock paint? And I'm like, okay, as soon as I figure out how to do it
Right?
myself. So we do a lot of rock painting, and they're really very enjoyable. But this one husband says to his wife, she got you to pay her $10 for a rock you can get out of the yard, blah, blah, blah. And he was just so funny.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually painted, he likes boats and stuff. So I actually painted a little boat scene on a rock and gave it to him. He's like, oh my God, thank you, thank you. Now I know why people pay you for rocks.
Right?
So sometimes it's just a matter of not knowing.
Right?
It's not that they don't appreciate the art, they just
Yep.
don't know.
Yeah,
So.
they don't know.
So I have to ask you, do you teach? You don't sound like you do,
I
but would
don't
you? Yeah,
teach
no,
normally.
yeah, well, that's okay. I always ask because, what you do is on the unique side, and it's kind of new, like I said, where most of the older artists in the association are more traditional as far
Mhm.
as, what they're using for mediums.
Right.
So, yeah, so if at some point you decide you want to teach, absolutely let us know.
Yep.
Okay, so all your artwork is for sale, I'm assuming?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
very
Any
cool.
prints? I can do up to 16 by 20.
16. Oh, that's actually a pretty good size piece of
Yep.
work. All right.
My fancy art printer.
The one that looks like a piano.
Yeah, the one that looks like a piano. My
I
husband
love
bought
it.
me that for my birthday this year, and
Oh,
it's
good
awesome.
husband. That's a good husband. I like
He
that.
is.
Yes,
He's
yes.
very supportive, so
That means a lot, doesn't it?
it
Means a
does.
lot that he's supportive, and your family are benefiting from it as well. And I have
Yeah.
a feeling that all of them are probably on the creative side. So for payment, you probably accept like Venmo, cash is
Venmo,
always
check,
good. Yes.
cash,
Okay.
PayPal.
And tell people again how they can get a hold of you, please.
You can find me on Instagram. It's Erolery Makes, EROLERIMAKES. Same thing, Gmail at Gmail for
Gmail.
my.
Gmail. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So if you have anything else you want to add, we can go
No,
ahead and do that. If
I think I'm
not,
good.
I want to thank you so much. This was so interesting. And if you're willing to kind of demo what you do on that iPad, I'm going to talk to Miss Maureen and see if we can hook you up with a demo.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
would
I
be
could do a
very cool.
demo or show people, the
Yeah, you
basics
could
of how
you could do
digital
a
art.
piece and show people what you're doing and why and how you're doing it. That would be extremely cool. I would like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, very awesome talking to you, Megan. This is one of the reasons why I like doing this podcast because, I see the names. I'm also the bookkeeper, so I see the names and blah, blah, blah. But it's nice to see, the people and get to know a little bit of backstory
Mhm.
about them. It's very cool. So thank you so very, very much. And we will see you soon. See you again. Okay, my
Okay.
darling? All
Yep.
right. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
Bye for now.